We can have disagreements as Venezuelans, and that's what this is about. You know, we need to solve our differences politically, and I agree with Edgardo, through dialogue, through politics, and not through violence. What we are seeing from the side of Guaido and that group of extreme opposition leaders is really a call for another coup and a call for a violent overthrow of the government, and the invitation for United States intervention. And that's what's really more dangerous. I think you see how U.S. officials are so committed to politics in Venezuela, and it's obvious because it does play into internal politics in the United States. I mean, there's a reason why both sides of the aisle go to the Venezuela issue, because they want the votes in Florida that they could get. Florida is a key state for the 2020 election, and when you have also candidates in the U.S. Speaking about socialism, you see democratic socialism, or whatever you want to call it, but you see how the current administration is trying to downplay that by showing Venezuela as a sample of a failed social experiment. What they don't take into account is that a lot of the problems that we have been having, and nobody can deny them, is the effects of sanctions and other measures taken by the United States against our government. I mean, there's a financial blockade currently going on right now, where at least about $6 billion are stuck in banks, where we can't even make transactions to make basic purchases for food, medicine, and supplies that we need to make the economy move forward and so forth. I mean, this is not fake. This is a reality. It's so a reality that about last week, when we were in New York in the United Nations, the Department of State issued a fact sheet on their policies in Venezuela. And it was taken offline the very next morning, because as the key outcomes of U.S. policy in Venezuela, they put things such as Guaido being interim president, $3.2 million being blocked in banks, and we disagree with the amount, but just the fact that they were saying that this is an accomplishment of U.S. policy, the drop in oil production. I mean, there's a recognition that there's an intent in U.S. policies to hinder the Venezuelan government's capability of dealing with national problems. We're bound to have economic problems. That's not something unheard of in a developing country. But there's definitely an intent to make to weaken government policies, to weaken the government, and to produce and take this to a regime change possibility.